The markets are on the verge of something absolutely explosive, and it starts this week. But it's not about just one news story. It's about a perfect storm of events, all hitting at the same exact moment. And if history is any guide, when this many catalysts collide, volatility is almost guaranteed. You see, we're entering one of the statistically most active months for stocks. Over the last century, January has rarely been quiet, and right now, the market is sitting less than 0.5% from an all-time high. When catalysts collide, volatility is never far behind. Now, the fuse for this week was lit over the weekend, with major geopolitical shifts in Venezuela. And the market's reaction was immediate and fierce. We saw massive moves in the oil sector. Chevron surged over 10%. Valero, ticker VLO, exploded upwards by 12%. Why such strength? Valero is uniquely positioned with refineries that process heavy crude oil, the primary type produced in Venezuela. This stock isn't just rising. It's testing a critical wall. Valero is now knocking on the door of its all-time high, around $185. The big question for traders is this: can it finally break through? If it does, it could signal the beginning of a much larger move, similar to the powerful rally we saw last August. Chevron is also in play, showing a clean break from its recent downtrend. But the standout, the one with that weird, undeniable intraday strength, was Valero. This story is far from over, with high-level talks between the administration and energy companies just getting started. More headlines are coming. But the energy sector is just one piece of the puzzle. The world's largest company also has a major catalyst right now. The Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, is in full swing. This is the biggest tech showcase on the planet, and all eyes are on Nvidia. Its CEO just delivered a keynote, and this event has a history of moving the stock, not always for the better. Last year, shares pulled back 16% following the presentation. So, what's the play here with a giant like Nvidia? The stock has been range-bound, stuck below resistance near $193. The key is momentum. We need to see a decisive burst, up or down, triggered by news from CES, maybe a groundbreaking AI announcement, or perhaps rising competition. Without a clear directional move, there's no reason to force a trade. Just watch. Remember, as the most heavily weighted stock in the S&P, how Nvidia moves can tilt the entire market. And speaking of the market, it had a strong session today. The S&P 500 is now within a hair's breadth of its record high. We're talking about a gap of just 0.57%. History shows January tends to be a bullish month, with a positive track record over 60% of the time since the late 1920s. Could we see a breakout to new highs this week? The level to watch is around 689.30 on the SPY, a clean break above that likely sends us to the promised land of all-time highs. If we pull back, support sits near 686. The bulls seem to be waking up to start the year, which is a refreshing change from the recent choppiness. But here's what you must remember. Statistics are a guide, not a guarantee. This is a unique year, and we have a flood of economic data landing soon that could change everything. The biggest report, non-farm payrolls, drops Friday before the open. This jobs data is crucial as a core health check for the economy and a primary driver for the Federal Reserve's interest rate decisions. Before that, on Wednesday, we get ISM services data and JOLTS job openings. In a storm of catalysts, the only constant is change. Earnings season is also starting to simmer. Keep an eye on names like a PLD Wednesday, after hours and Tilray on Thursday. These can bring sudden, outsized moves. Now, let's talk specific setups. First, silver. The iShares Silver Trust, SLV, has been the asset of the year, up over 150%. It's at a critical juncture, just below its all-time high near $72. Geopolitical risk from events like Venezuela supports precious metals. But at this altitude, it's extremely sensitive. A break above $71 could fuel the next leg of the bull run. A failure and drop below $65 could trigger a sharp reversal. It's a binary setup with massive volatility potential. Next, Tesla. It finally snapped its historic losing streak with a solid 3% gain today. It's bouncing from key support at $440. The level to watch now is $460. A break above that could open a path toward $473. The move was overdue, and the bounce looks constructive. Then there's JD.com. This Chinese e-commerce player had wild action today. It gapped down hard, then recovered beautifully back to the $30 level. That's the major resistance line. A breakout above $30 could be very significant, especially following some suspiciously well-timed big money activity recently. And for the growth stock rally, watch Oklo, ticker Oklo. It surged nearly 15% today, approaching the $91 level. If it powers through that, the next major target is the $100, $104 zone. The momentum here is undeniable. For immediate momentum plays tomorrow, we're watching 3 names under one condition. They must break key levels. First, energy fuels, UUU to the upside. Watch for a break above the high of day near $18.55. Second, BitNile, BMNR, also to the upside. It needs to clear today's high around $3.38. Third, Palantir, PLTR, to the downside, but only if weakness emerges. If it loses intraday support at $17.30, watch it lower. If the market is strong, ignore this setup. Never force a trade. Finally, let's look at a major options trade. A trader spent big on the trade desk, ticker TTD. They bought deep in the money calls for February 2026. This ad tech stock is in its largest drawdown ever, but found support at $36 and bounced over 6% today. This is a bet that the worst of the selling is over and a mean reversion bounce toward the $55, $56 area is next. It's a high conviction, tactical play on a battered stock. This is precisely the kind of convergence week we analyze here on Winds of Thought. To make sure you don't miss our breakdown of the jobs report and tomorrow's key levels, hit that LIKE button and subscribe to Winds of Thought. It genuinely helps us bring you this analysis every single day. We're set for an incredibly active week. The catalysts are lined up. The charts are at critical points. All that's left is for the market to make its move. Thank you for watching. Let's navigate these winds together.